Ocean acidification is a name that only covers part of the story. So yes, it's true that the pH of the ocean is lower. It's 8.1 instead of 8.2, but it's not an acid, and it's nowhere near becoming an acid. The bigger problem, though, that this title, ocean acidification, doesn't cover is the consequences, which are that shells and coral reefs that contain calcium carbonate are releasing their ions, specifically the carbonate ions, in order to take up this excess hydrogen created from the series of reactions of atmospheric carbon dioxide going into the ocean. The coral is the skeleton, which is the calcium carbonate, kind of like you have a human skeleton with calcium. The coral reef is the skeleton upon which this ecosystem of fish and living coral and all kinds of marine life live. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is over 1,000 miles long and can be seen from space. Well, there have been these mass bleaching events, 97, 2001, 2005, and 2015, between climate change and ocean acidification, have a effect of killing off the marine life, and you have this kind of ghost coral reef, which only is the calcium carbonate. Like climate change, beyond the name, there are consequences of ocean acidification which begin with the bleaching events of the coral reef. And we know that coral is calcium carbonate and will dissolve, that these ions will be needed as more and more hydrogen is in the ocean. And without the coral reef foundation, we'll lose those marine habitats. In addition, the shells, the very shells of the marine creatures will also dissolve, and we'll lose the shellfish as well. So both of these have impacts on marine food webs. So the food that we need, the lobster, the crab, the shrimp, and also that these fish need the coral reefs. So all those fish that live on coral reefs are also part of the food web. This will ultimately affect human food resources and human health. If there is one silver lining, since ocean acidification and climate change are both linked to the same thing, which is carbon emissions, well, we lower our carbon emissions, we solve two problems at once.